I pioneered the research into the militarization of police going back to the mid-1990s, not because I was informed, but because I had an open mind. So I had police chiefs on from San Antonio, emergency managers like Thomas Sanchez and others that said, look, we've been approached by the federal government, by Clinton at the time, for gun confiscation drills to test the public. And those interviews ended up making the Associated Press. So there is a large police state takeover program. It continued through Bush and is now expanding under Obama. They have huge exercises like Jade Helm going on right now in 10 states where they practice blending in and taking over towns. This has dual uses overseas, but it's really about dominating and controlling domestic populations. Then you add the NSA warrantless spying. You have the IRS taking people's bank accounts with no judge, no jury, no indictment, asset forfeiture seizure, the drones, the cameras on the street corners, the license plate readers. This is beyond what Orwell could imagine. So the police state isn't coming, it's here. Martial law isn't coming, it's here. We still have some free speech, we still have some basic freedoms, so they run in parallel. But Jade Helm this summer isn't a martial law takeover, it's just another increment of the tyranny we're already under. And now we're going under tyranny where they want to make withdrawing $5,000 out of the bank illegal. That was in the news last week. And there are hundreds and hundreds of other points. Everybody knows that we are resembling more and more a third world dictatorship and not a free republic. Congress wouldn't even investigate the FCC power grab of the internet. And even if you think they did a good job, which they didn't, laws don't come out of an agency or out of a president. When the president decides to open the borders, or the president decides to shut down power plants without authorization, that's called tyranny, that's called dictatorial. And when Congress goes along with it, we're in really deep trouble. I'm Alex Jones with Jesse Ventura. It's Head to Head.
You know, when you look at all police forces and you look at their squad cars, it says to protect and to serve. Well, protecting and serving doesn't require being armed to the teeth, dressing in black, coming with helicopters and busting down doors. SWAT teams and like that should be used when you have a hostage situation or you have something involving weapons being fired and, you know, barricaded in, something like that where you would require that type of armament. They're being used far, far too much today. They're being used almost like the Gestapo. And I hate to say that, but if you go back to Nazi Germany, that's what the Gestapo was. We in our country, we're supposed to be home of the brave, land of the free, and yet we have more people in prison than any other country in the world. That's nothing to be proud of. And I don't really truly believe there are that many more criminals in the United States. I just think it's our policies and our corporate ownership of prisons where we must keep them filled to make them profitable. And so therefore, we got our police out there armed like the military or the Gestapo. I think we need to come to grips to the fact that disobeying a police officer should not be a death sentence, and police officers themselves should look at it that they're not entitled to take someone's life just because someone won't listen to them. Death sentence and shooting should only be in cases of murder or where in the cases of where somebody truly is affected to where they're in danger. You know, another interesting thing is chemical warfare, tear gas, what I'm talking about there. All the countries of the world have made an agreement we won't use chemical weapons like tear gas at war. And yet we as the United States find it's okay to use it on our own citizens? If we won't use it on an enemy in a time of war, and we will use it on our own citizens, do we disrespect our own citizens more than the enemy at war? Tear gas should not be used in any situation. There's nothing I can see that is positive about it. If it's not allowed by the Geneva Convention, and if it's not allowed at war, how the hell can it be allowed on the streets of the United States of America used against you and me? That's ridiculous. Tear gas should be outlawed. Any type of chemical weapons should absolutely be outlawed and not used. Can we officially say that the United States has become East Berlin? I don't know if we can officially say it yet, but we're getting damn close. When the United States leads the world in people in prison and then we're going to put walls up around our own country to keep people out? Let's get rid of the Patriot Act and go back to the old United States of America, one that other countries used to look up to instead of fear.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.